The master spent 3 years creating the world's only immortal pill. Yet he never used a single herb. However, the furnace for pill making was brightly lit every day. And the number of boys around him was diminishing. Just as the boys started to sense something was amiss, the master suddenly pulled out a yellowed pill recipe. This divine rabbit ear, I don't have in my possession. But humans, being the spirit of all beings, can transform all treasures of heaven and earth. As soon as he finished speaking, he swiftly reached out and grasped at the air. Instantly a boy screamed as he was flung away. The master grabbed his ear and pulled hard. It seemed as though the ear would be ripped off. But instead it stretched longer and longer, until the master opened his hand, and a deformed human skin rabbit shockingly appeared. The divine rabbit ear was complete, and the master was immensely satisfied. He tossed the deformed rabbit into the furnace. Immediately the blood began to boil, and faint dreadful screams could be heard. The master chuckled darkly, his gaze lingering on me briefly, yet far from being scared. I instead gave him a gentle smile. He frowned slightly, did not lay a hand on me. Instead he looked to the side, where several other boys like me were sitting calmly in their places. The master glanced over them one by one, but when he saw a boy who was trembling slightly, his eyes lit up. With a swift gesture, the boy who was pretending to be calm suddenly turned pale. The next second, the master gently pinched, and the boy collapsed lifeless. The room finally erupted into chaos. Monster, you actually kill to make pills. You will meet a bad end. Watching the boys fleeing in panic, the master laughed loudly. Foolish children, you're caught in the illusion. Offering up your bodies will help your master ascend to immortality. In the future you will all be immortals. As he spoke, he grasped broadly, throwing each boy into the furnace one by one. Strangely, I remained fearless and composed, sitting quietly in my place. At that moment no one would have thought that my back was drenched with cold sweat. Since the day I was captured by this Taoist, I've been struggling to survive, and finally I've come to understand his temperament. He believes the more fearful the ingredients, the better the pills produced. So as long as one shows no hint of fear, he will not strike. But while it sounds simple, it is as hard as climbing to heaven. I'm almost at my limit. After seizing 20 boys, the master stopped adding ingredients. Slowly he began to refine something into a pill. Finally, a pill glowing with red light floated up. Strangely, the surface of the pill displayed the faces of people. It's done. I have finally succeeded, exclaimed the Taoist master. The master danced with excitement, carefully examining the pill. Suddenly his eyes shifted, and he turned to the remaining few boys. I've refined an immortal pill, but I'm not sure of its effects. Would anyone like to test it? The boys showed deep fear, knowing well the dire consequences of consuming such an evil pill. It will surely be tragic, they thought. The master's tone was full of seduction. This pill can awaken your cultivation roots. Only those with spiritual roots can cultivate immortality. This is your chance to become immortals. The boys were not convinced, trying their best to stay unnoticed. But someone had to be the unlucky one. The master pointed to a corner. You come here.